Hi everybody, it's Miss Samantha greeting you from the Low Country Montessori campus in the yard of Miss Amy and Miss Julia's primary classroom garden. And the plants are flowering and they are raring to go for summertime. They're offering up their flowers for the pollinators that have been very busy doing their job. This garden is also called the Fairy Flower Garden because there are lots of flowers, and also it appears that we have a few magical creatures living here. Definitely some artists as well. Here we have some beautiful heads of cabbage. So if you are patient, you will be rewarded when you garden. Ooh, what do we have here? Can anyone guess what this plant is? It has 3 leaves. They have serrated edges and this beautiful red fruit that has its seeds on the outside. That is a strawberry plant. I love strawberry plants because they're perennial, which means they come back every year. And just above our strawberry plants, we have something I really want to show you. This is the giant sunflower stalk that has been growing and growing and growing ever since I saw you last. It's probably at least 10 feet high. I had to get a chair to really look closely. And I want you to look at its face. See how the face has this amazing spiral pattern? That is actually made out of thousands of tiny little flowers. So this big flower you see, those aren't real. It's actually not a real flower. Those petals are modified leaves, yellow leaves, and the real flowers are on the face of the sunflower. There's a million little teeny flowers, and each flower will eventually turn into a seed, so that the whole face of the flower will be made up of seeds. Now the seeds don't mature until the flower starts to die, and then the seeds will take a long time to mature. So please don't pick the sunflowers, because we want to harvest those seeds so we can plant them, eat them. We also want the birds to be able to eat them. They could be depending on that for their dinner. The butterflies and the bumblebees want to drink nectar from the sunflower, and this sunflower only makes one flower, and once you cut it, it can't make another flower. So if you're at the school cutting flowers, please don't cut any sunflowers, because it makes me sad when I've been watering this giant plant for a few months, and then as soon as it flowers, it gets its head cut off. There's other flowers that you can cut. They make multiple flowers, so one plant makes many multiple flowers, and you can cut them and they keep making new flowers. So zinnias are that kind of plant. Zinnias are known as annuals because they don't come back every year. Not the exact same plant anyways. What has come back this year from last year are new baby zinnias that grew from seeds that last year's zinnias planted in the ground. We have a California poppy. It has some frilly edge leaves. It's native to North America, not to us specifically. Does anybody know what this plant is? One of my favorites. This is milkweed, and one way that you can recognize it is it has a stalk that kind of looks like bamboo. Here, if you look at the old stalks, they sort of have segments like bamboo, and that's one way to identify them. I leave the stalks because it reminds people that there's a plant here. A lot of perennial plants die totally back in the winter and they go totally underground, and then people forget they're there. So I'll leave the dead stalks so people don't forget they're there and try to rip them out of the ground. They remember that this is a plant we've planted. Also, birds will perch on those little dead twigs. So sometimes things that we think are maybe ugly are really beautiful to wildlife. This plant here is called purple sage. Its scientific name is salvia. That's the Latin name for sage. There's many different kinds of sages. We have another type of sage right around the corner. You guys remember what plant this is? Firewheel. Okay, this is horse mint. Some very healthy horse mint, not blooming yet. And this is a different kind of salvia, Mexican sage. Very, very beautiful. Does anyone know what this plant is? This is a baby sunflower. So even if you like huge, big things, everything big starts out small. So you have to take care of the little things if you want to be able to enjoy the big things. There's a baby cosmos. It won't bloom until fall when you come back. And there's the boat and the horse. The lantana bush is getting huge. It wants to take over the world. Lantana is a native deciduous shrub, and it is loved by butterflies because it has all these little flowers. This is what we call a compound flower, because see how it looks like one flower, again like the sunflower, but it's made out of many little flowers. And this type of flower is called an umbel. It's almost like an umbrella, kind of. It's lots of tiny flowers forming almost an umbrella shape. Very healthy bush. We might have to trim that before school starts again. There won't be anywhere left in the yard. Okay, this is native magnolia. We've looked at it before. It has these waxy leaves that protect it from our salty air. And you can tell it's native because it's nice and green underneath. The non-native ones people buy at the store have like a brown fuzzy underside. And they're very similar. This one's my favorite. Goldenrod growing. That will be blooming in the fall. Here is the middle school keyhole garden. It's hanging in there. There are some baby pumpkins right there. Not doing much yet, but there's still time. Pear tree, dogwood tree, sassafras tree, cassia bush, everyone's favorite, getting huge. Can't even fit it all on the screen. Loquat tree. Another sunflower. Now this type has multiple blooms. Here we have Confederate rose. This is really interesting because it has a flower that when it blooms in the morning it's white, and slowly from morning until afternoon it turns from white to pink. So you could even cut a flower, bring it in your house, and watch it change over several hours from white to pink. So I looked up why it was called Confederate rose. I thought maybe it would have something to do with like the Civil War and like the blood on the battlefields or something like that turning the flower pink, but it just said that this was a really popular flower after the Civil War because people didn't have a lot of money for their gardens, and you can just cut a branch like this, stick it in water, have it grow roots, and then you can propagate, which means to make more trees that way. So it was a plant that was very easy for people to grow and share traditionally down here in the southern states. We have some daylilies that are new. The reason they're called daylilies is because the bloom only lasts for one day. So see, it's the end of the day. It's like 6 o'clock and it's over. Just one day, but look, there's buds, so there'll be more. So you always have to stop and appreciate the flowers because they might be gone if you don't take the time to notice them. So I sure do miss you guys. Got some violas and some native aloe. Lots of succulents, snapdragons. Snapdragon. Hello everyone. I sure do miss you. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.